This movie tells a story of a mother who's struggling with overwhelming parental duties and frustrations about the world she left behind, which manifest as a literal transformation into a canine. The movie understands the absurdity of this premise. Rather than make a horror film, it opts for comedy instead. Unfortunately, the dog metaphor gets sloppier until it can't go any further. It's all smug pointing and nodding, rather than anything smarter or more savage, while its overly didactic methods are repetitive and ineffectual. The movie employs everything from poignant family drama, to pitch-black comedy, to horror fairy tale, to highlight the complexities of motherhood and identity. It operates in too many modes at once, making a muddle of most of them. It becomes inconsistent in its tone. The movie struggles to incorporate magical realism and the supernatural into the earnest conversations about how our society views and treats moms. The movie attempts to maintain magical realism by introducing flashbacks of her mother, but this aspect is largely swept aside in a confusing and forgotten fashion. The story threads feel incomplete to a confusing and unsatisfying degree. The movie renders its genre bender disparate in tone, swinging far too widely between cringe humor and poignant conversation starter. The movie gets so caught up in the central messaging and the main character's emotional journey that the rest falls apart. It's a dark fairy tale about motherhood, but one that almost seems to treat its genre elements like an allergy. The more the character finds liberation in giving into her primal instincts, the more the movie leaves the genre elements behind to focus on her journey toward regaining her sense of self and self-worth. It's jarring how abruptly the body horror gets forgotten, or the transformation into canine at all, seemingly culminating in the swept-aside death of a pet. The transformation into a dog is amusing at first, however, it quickly stalls the picture. The movie spends considerable time showing her literal transformation into a dog without doing much with the transformation at all. It doesn't go deep into the gnarly body horror. It's a gonzo concept that's left a little tame in execution. The movie never settles on whether it is magic realism, a hallucination, or a metaphor, and brushes aside the whole thing as it improbably turns into a serious marital drama towards the end. The commentary here feels too surface level. It's overusing the daydream format of the character imagining her reaction, instead of living it. Some of the broad moments might be relatable, but there's a difference between highlighting something that frequently happens and having something incisive to say about it. There's a weak structure here of lessons learned and conflicts resolved, but beyond the character's insular world of ambition and longing and stasis, nothing has been fleshed out in a way that supports the story. The movie perches itself between projection and reality so that we never quite know if what we're seeing is fact or not. The movie's strength lies ultimately with its capable lead. Amy Adams' performance is good. She brings the right mix of tenderness and annoyance, between holy wonderment and existential boredom. Unfortunately, she can't save this movie from mediocrity. Overall, the movie struggles to make a convincing point by the end. It eventually settles on basic end points for its ideas in its disappointing final act. It's not worth to watch this in theaters, just wait on your streaming service.